Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Harpy Stitch. I'm Amy, and this is my corner of the internet all about cross stitch. It is April 19th. It is Sunday. It is morning time. We had a day on Thursday. It was almost 80 degrees, and now there is a layer of snow back out on the ground. I think Mother Nature is going through menopause. Going back and forth between being really hot and really cold. So anyway, I hope you've been well in the last 3 weeks since I saw you last. It's been very busy, and which is why I didn't film last weekend. It is my birthday weekend. I did nothing but relax and stitch yesterday. Well, not nothing. I had to do some laundry and stuff, but I didn't do any work for my job. I didn't do any homework. My schooling is almost over. My last assignment is due on May 7th. So night school ended last week. We had conferences on Thursday, so I had a 12-hour day on Thursday. Took the kids out to do outside to do a scale model of our solar system. Took us all the way to the edge of the high school property, and we only got to Uranus. But that was fun. Most of the classes did a great job. Some kids didn't do what they were supposed to, but they're teenagers, it's normal. So night school ended. I didn't get to go to the last night because we had conferences. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that time that I would have been at night school, and I'm going to repurpose that time, since my brain's already programmed to be busy till 6 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays, to finish up my homework for my 2 classes. I've got 2 assignments for one and 2 assignments for the other, and then I can revise some stuff from earlier in the semester. Excuse me, itchy eye. So that's what I'm going to do with my Tuesdays and Thursdays, although what I really want to be doing is stitching. I got renewed. I'll be at the same campus. I'll still be teaching science. So this summer, now that as soon as my classes are done, I've got all that turned in, I'm going to start doing my portfolio to get my licensure for science. Hopefully get a head start after school's over, which we just have till the end of May. So just about 6 weeks left. I am going to focus on the portfolio, but I'm going to take 1 week off to just chill, unless I end up having to do training for a job that at work for next year that I said I would be interested in. Let's see, what else has been going on? Oh, I haven't given you my March stitchy totals yet because I didn't have them the last time I filmed because there was still a day in March left. So in March I got 13,231 and a half stitches. Let's see, covered that. We did get our contract signed, so I will be getting a back pay for the year because we've been working all year without a contract. So our back pay will hit at the end of this month, and as well as our new pay rate. So that is cool. Let's see. I got to go to Stitching in the Matrix Wendy's Zoom call yesterday, so I got to hang out with Wendy and Donna. It was really fun. If you haven't gotten in contact with her, send her a message on Zoom if you're interested. It's like at 11 a.m. my time. Donna is in the UK and she starts the thing. So it's 5 p.m. in the UK. Let's see, what else do we got? I'm trying to figure out what order I want to do things in, and my brain is not wanting to function this Sunday morning. Actually, it doesn't want to do anything this Sunday morning. I'm still on my birthday weekend. Tomorrow's my 51st birthday. I'm not taking the day off work. We're doing standardized testing starts that day. So I'm trying to figure out what I want to say in what order. And then, despite the fact that I didn't want to do any adulting, I didn't quite get all my grading done. So after this, I got to go get some things at the grocery store. I got to do some grading, and then at 3:30 we're going to go see Project Hail Mary for my birthday. Friday after work we went to Grizzly's, which is a restaurant where they cook everything over fire. And the first time we went there, it was amazing. Everything, I got salmon, my husband got walleye. The cheesecake was delicious, which we ate last night because we got it to go. let's see. What else? I haven't been on Instagram or Facebook very much. I did have somebody mention me on Instagram, so I went and checked it out. I'm trying to minimize my social media usage this month for a few reasons. And the Scandinavian Stitcher had posted her work on my Rebel Loon pattern, and she put it on red curtain call Ada, and oh my god, did it pop on that red. And it was so exciting seeing somebody stitch one of my patterns in the wild. Like, I've never had that before, and I was like, ooh. So it was really kind of exciting and fun to see somebody working on something that I had created, even though it wasn't my art. I did get permission. They, it's Creative Commons. They want people to use it. And again, thank you to everybody who donated. Last month, I also, right before I went on my Facebook and Instagram hiatus, I asked everybody on here, right after my last Flosstube, to vote on what project I should put in my free space for my WhipGo this month. Well, you guys, it was very close, but what you guys chose was Dead Outlaw. And this is where he's at. So this will be my third project to work on this month for WhipGo. And I will also double dip it into the 2026 challenge for working on 26 projects this year for fandom. So he will get a lot of work this month. I already finished one of my, well, I finished technically 2 of my WhipGos because I just have it set for 2 days. But I've also finished the 2026 stitches for the Fandom Challenge. I know people hate zips. I'm not going to apologize, though. All right. So that is what y'all voted for. So I will be working on him this month. I've already finished 10 of my, I haven't finished, but my 2026 stitches. I finished 10 of my projects that I selected for my 26 projects this year for the amount I was supposed to stitch on for fandom. And some I've gone over and beyond that. So, anything else I want to touch base on? Nope, got that. My brain is a sieve because I have too much in it. All right, now, I made a project bag. I almost forgot to do this. This is the Princess Leia, The Future of the Galaxy is Female. I think it looks great, but I neglected to remember to turn down the heat, so this should be shiny silver. I still think it looks kind of like shimmery from the just the color in her hair, but I ironed the whole bit that I had, and I was gonna make some project bags to give to people, and now I'm like, should I give it to them since I messed up the thing? I'm gonna have to get some more and get some shiny, but I made a project bag. I also made my kiddo a Pokemon makeup bag because I had this really cute Pokemon fabric. And I was going to do my, I had some that's just Pikachu faces. And that was what I was originally going to do it with. But then when the local craft store shut down, I had gotten some just little squares, like fat quarters, you know, the little pre-cut ones. That was a pastel. And I found that when I was digging through and doing some reorganizing. I showed it and she's like, oh, I like that much better. So I put this little, it's white fabric with Pokemon surrounded by berries. You may have seen it. She was here for a robotics tournament that her husband was coaching and she was helping chaperone. So I gave it to her because her birthday is in a couple of weeks, 2 weeks after mine. And we're not sure we're going to go see him because gas prices are outrageous right now. And yeah, so we probably won't be making the 2.5 hour drive down there and back for a while until I don't know when. So since I wasn't going to see her, I gave it to her and I put some stiffer interfacing in so it stands up nice. And it's, I found a tutorial and inside is like blue Pokemon fabric. And then I put a pride flag on the zipper for a zipper pull. It's really just a charm, but they've got the little lobster hooks. So I just pop them on and then poof, you've got a zipper pull. So I don't have that because I gave it to my kid, but I'm very excited about this bag. Now I have to figure out what to put in it. And even though I messed it up, I still think it looks cool. But I'm going to have to get some more shiny. I'm thinking about trying to sell project bags. I'm not an expert, but mine are in good shape. They're not as good as some other people's, because I don't have as much experience sewing, but I do a good job. So I have 2 finishes for you. One of them you're not going to be surprised by. I was almost done with it last time I filmed, and I have finished it the day after. Because there were surprisingly more stitches. Well, and I had lots to do, so I didn't get as much stitchy time. I am going to actually show it sideways first, because it's the only way I can fit it all in frame at once. This is Turtles All the Way Down by Ink Circles. I have started this on May 7th of 2025, and I finished it on March 30th of this year. It is on 32 count Miracle Mint by Silkweaver, which is a nice soft fabric. 13 colors, and it's 2/2. So, if you are a fan of Discworld or mythology, you might be familiar with this phrase. Let me hold it still. And that is, the one that's purple is the center. Now, I love how tiny they get. Like, you can't even tell they're turtles anymore. I've been trying to find a belt, because I want to finish it as a belt pull, which is what it's supposed to be. But I'm trying to find, I found a few nice ones, but I would love to have something that had turtles on the top, and I have yet to find one. So if you know where I could find something that makes it feel like Turtles is connected, or someone who would help me make a custom, I kind of wish I really wish I had a 3D printer, because then I could just print me one that is exactly what I want. But it's done! My second finish of the year. Whoa. All right, and I have another finish. So this was one of my whip goes this month. Or no, wait, last month. I already had finished my whip go for it in March. But I was really close. And I had finished my weeklies for that week. Excuse me, my throat's really dry. I know water would be better, but my brain needs caffeine to function. At least today. And halfway to Halloween's coming up. And I started this early for halfway to Halloween. And I am going to do another project for halfway to Halloween by Jason X Stitches. But I couldn't resist. I was so close to getting this done. So this is A Witch's Welcome by Annie Craft of Dirty Annie Designs. It was in the Just Cross Stitch October 2023. And I have a finish. Look at that. When I got done with my 2026 stitches, I had like almost everything done except for the chains, these keys, and this candelabra. So I was like, that's too close. So I just finished it. And I finished it on the 13th. Look at how beautiful it is. I started on May 9th of last year. It is on 40 count antique lace by Seraphim, Tim Colors, and it is 1/2. But look at how beautiful it turned out. A co-worker stopped me as we were leaving Friday. They were my neighbor in the school last year. And she's like, did you finish your 50 for 50? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, are you doing 51 for 51? I'm like, oh, I have enough whips. She's like, what you do is so cool. And then she's like, what are you working on? And I showed her those 2 finishes, and she's like, she told me Witch's Welcome. She's like, that's so intricate. And I'm like, thank you. Because she doesn't understand. This is primitive. Like, this is on borderline of prim. And so she thinks it's hugely complicated. And I'm thinking, yeah, this is so simple compared to some of my other projects. But I didn't say it. I just took the compliment and moved on. But it was kind of fun because she asked me out of nowhere about it. And it was really cool. And yesterday, in addition to the meetup with Wendy on Zoom, I was supposed to host an in-person stitching meetup, and nobody came. But while I was there, I ran into a former coworker and a friend, and she was there to grade papers. That's where she grades her papers a lot, so she's not distracted at home. And she's like, hi, how you doing? And compliment. She's like, I see your stuff online. It's so pretty. And so that was kind of fun. And then I stayed for a little bit to see if anybody would come late, and they didn't. So I came back home and worked on projects because that's what I wanted to do yesterday, and it was my birthday. I was grown up enough that I didn't eat the cheesecake for breakfast yesterday. I really wanted to. I was like, I was like, but my tummy will be mad at me if I put that on my stomach first thing in the morning. So I waited and I ate most of it. And the cat was very interested in the cheesecake. So my husband asked me to do something. I said, fine, guard the cheesecake. The cat's sniffing at it. And he's like, can I take a bite? And I'm like, sure. And then he proceeded to say, this cheesecake is terrible. You don't want this cheesecake. It's going to make you sick if you eat it. Can I eat it? And I'm like, no. Because I knew he was faking. It was really good cheesecake. So I ate what I could of it, and then I gave the rest of it to him because it's really rich. But yeah, he was trying to convince me it was horrible so he could eat all of it. I'm like, no, you can't steal my birthday cheesecake. All right. So, first whip is Halloween Quaker. This is one of my whip go calls for April, and I am done with my 2 days. And I actually, because I use my whip goes for my weekly challenges for fandom, I always go over my 2 days to end up with the 2026 stitches. So let me fold this in half. This I won from Floss Boss and Cousins. This stitch right here, this motif, is Christie's work. So let me give you the whole thing. This gray motif here, the flowers, shows up much better from a distance in person than in the camera. So I got this whole motif done. I think I got both those done. I got this done. I originally accidentally did him in the froggy green color that I have. I got started on the spider web thing that'll be here. And then I got the tree and the house done with and this so everything from like here down, and I finished off that motif. So that's 2026 stitches, and I've got a long way to go, but it looks great. But again, the gray stitches there, the flower pot under the witch's hat, do show up much better in person on this fabric. But the colors are right. It's just camera washes it out enough. So making good progress. I will probably end up doing this on whatever probably 27 for 2027 next year. I was actually already thinking about how am I going to do that? Do I have projects that have enough stitches will have enough stitches to count for that next year, so I can finish that. Not that I won't have a new start next year too, but all right. So next, Sapita by Maroomy Designs, another whip go call, and I've also finished my 2026 stitches for it for fandom. This is by Maroomy Designs. I started this on August 14th of 2023. It is on 32 count Yellowstone by Bling Designs, and I am using 4240 from DMC, the Midsummer Night Variegated, and 1/1. I was so excited to get down here to the waves in her skirt. I am stitching the negative space. So in the design, the stuff that I'm stitching was supposed to be the empty space, and the stuff that I'm leaving blank. So her cheeks should have been stitched, but and her lips. But I have flipped it because I had this beautiful fabric, and I was like, I want the sun and the rays, and I wanted the to look like it can when it sunsets. So we've got the stripy purples and blues of, yeah. And also, this is in honor of all the women fighting for their rights in Iran and the strength of Iranian women. And it seems appropriate now in the U.S. as well. It is sad that we have to fight so hard to keep rights that should just be ours, but it's okay. Well, it's not okay, but we're going to keep fighting. Alrighty. Let's see. Deadly Aquarium is next by Lola Crow. I know you have all seen this. I worked down here I finished the little birdie. I got enough down so I could put in his beak. I finished the back stitching on him, and I got some of this green done. Back it up. I was putting this in a cheap nerd hoop, but I don't like it. I'm going to go back to just a regular hoop because since it was cheap, it pinches where the screw is, but it doesn't keep everything tight. And I think some of my stitches look a little bit messier than I would like because I'm not getting consistent tension. Like parts of it are tighter than others, and I think it skews the stitches a bit. Although once it's out of the hoop, it looks much better. But yeah, and I've already signed up for the next, well, not the next one, because I didn't do the birds, but I am doing the museum one this year, which will be my belated birthday start because it comes out on April 24th, which I will kit it up later today or tomorrow or something before the 24th. I've got the fabric, which I'm going to show you in a minute. All right. Black Needle Society. Oh, that is on 32 Count Sequoia Atomic Ranch. It was my birthday start for 2024. Excuse me. I have to sneeze. Yes, I keep paper towel rolls on the back of my couch because we tend to eat on the couch. And then when I have to sneeze, I have a handy thing. And I'm sorry. But if I don't do that, I'm going to sound stuffy the rest of the video. And you know what? Everybody sneezes. Everybody blows their nose. Well, I hope you blow your nose. All right. Frogwarts is next. So this was, both this and Deadly Aquarium were also used for a pop-up challenge for fandom. And I am right now focusing on year 1 on my Frogwarts by Black Needle Society. I started this on May 4th of 2024. And it is on 36 Count Stonewall by Seraphim. Sorry, I'm looking down at my notes. I can't hold anything in my brain today. And it's 2/2. So I got the rest of the words in, and then I started working on Fluffy. When I get to the mirror, I will use a toile to make it sparkly, and I've got to figure out these feet and match them up. That's not actually in the original design. That's by Nautalota Stitches, Natasha Dam, or no, wait, no, that, she's not Natasha, not Teresa, I can't remember her name at the moment. But not a lot of stitches. I will have to look up her name. I will link her below. She made this for free to go with the Frogwarts patterns. Natasha Dam was in the same group from Frogwarts. That's why my brain's confusing the two names. But she's that damn stitcher for her last name. So that is year 1. When I finish year 1, I'm going to work on probably year 2 because it's got the most done next. So yeah, not a huge amount of progress because it was just one set of like 200 stitches, a little bit more than that because I usually go over. Ow, my back hurts. All right, now this is Embolic by Kick Stitches. This is a gift for my son-in-law, and I gotta get that out of his frame. It's bothering me. My son-in-law is a Wiccan, and so I am making the pentacles from Kick Stitches to go over his altar where he worships. And this is where I've gotten to. I have I used this for all my weeklies this week. So I've got like 1,800 and something stitches in it since I started on it. Like all this is back stitched. This is all filled in. Well, most of this is all filled in. This is all filled in. I have a few stitches up here so that I can back stitch up here. The moon's in. And then I've got some like smearing crosses to do. But one more weekly prompt and this will be done for my 2026 stitches. So none of these flowers were down here. This was here a little bit. I did realize I missed a couple of top stitches in the sheep, which I will fix. I got in the bowl and the pitcher. And so I probably will focus on this area so I can finish this quadrant for this next week. So there was almost nothing done on this. And now it's almost halfway done. It is not, these are not huge designs. The problem that I'm having is that I'm doing it 1/1 on linen, and there are half stitches. So this is 28 count, very smoky white casual linen. There's 22 colors. It's 1/1, and I started out on January 27th. And there, I've already done one. This will be my second. There are 8 of them for the major holidays in the Wiccan faith. And so this will hopefully be finished this year, and then I can start on the next one. And I have fabric for 4 of them, and then I'll just I wanted something that looked very natural, and I am hoop finishing them and then backing it with a coordinating fabric for the theme of the holiday, or the appropriate religious colors or sacred colors for that holiday. So that is in bulk. Kitty, don't be naughty. Okay, so I finished all my weeklies. I finished the weeklies for that Friday evening with some time to spare. So then I decided it's my birthday weekend. I'm going to go swee-wee. So if you're not familiar, stitch what you want when you want. Come here, kitty. Meow, meow, meow. Come on. Come say hi to everybody. You're just going to show them your tail? Okay. Sit pet times. No, you cannot go over there because there's a needle there. All right. So I worked on a project I hadn't worked on in a while, and I didn't pick this for one of my 26 projects because I wasn't sure I had all the parts. And I am petting my cat. So thank you, Kitty. Did you turn the page for me? Almost, kind of, not quite. So I started this in 2024 on April. It's the 2024 sale, but apparently I didn't start it till April 2nd, 2025. Because I just wanted to get on it. It is the Cutesy Friend Sale by Creatively Crafting. It is on 32 count fabric. I ice dyed myself. It has 10 colors, and I'm doing it 2/2. Go ahead, go. All right. And this is where I'm at. So this is they do one, I think, every year, and I don't know, this is the only one I've done, but they're all called the Cutesy Friends Sale, and then she just changes the things. So I didn't have the D or the S, I only had part of the D, and then none of the S, and then a couple of these blocks were missing. I had this Care Bear, but I've put over 1,000 stitches on this since I started working on it on Friday, and so I finished that up. I backstitched this star and this heart, did all of this little guy. Look at him, he's so cute. And then I got most of the balloon, and then when the balloon's finished, I'll do that. And then there's a heart and star for him too. And I do have all the parts. I picked this fabric because it looks just very 1980s to me, and they're Care Bears. So we've got Grumpy Bear and Good Luck Bear in here as well, although they're not here yet. So I wasn't sure there was enough or if I had all the parts, so I didn't want to get like stuck because I didn't have the pattern, and then I didn't have my 2026 stitches. But there definitely would have been, because each little one is probably 22,000 stitches easy. But there it is. And I was a little concerned, but since they're backstitched, they still pops pretty good. But there is my Cutesy Friend Sale. And I've got 4 more bears to put in. I did reach out because I saw on the website that there are 12 panels, but apparently the other panels are extra bears, so they're not necessary for the completed design. All right, so one more whip for you. I haven't put much stitching in it, but I have shifted it over to a stretcher bar. Did that last night when we were watching a movie. We were watching Deep Cover, which is the story of a bunch of improv comics who were pulled into deep cover. It was better than I expected. It was more actiony than I expected. It was actually pretty good. All right. So, Halloween Fairy by Nora Corbett. It was from just Crossstitch magazine originally. Oops, let me get the kitty turn my page again. I started it on 10/3/23. It is also on 32 count Yellowstone by Bling Designs, 17 colors, and it is 2/2. And I got this loaded onto the stretcher bar, and you will now see I have 2 needles. Does anybody know where I can find beading needles that aren't so dang long? Because you can't, it's so annoying when you get close to the end of the thread. You can't just do it. All right, so I filled in a row of here, and I put in these beads because I just wanted to put in some beads. I need to go and do all the cryonic down here. So I used the other one as I used Halfway to Halloween as an excuse to finish my Witch's Welcome, but technically it didn't start until 2 days ago. So this is going to be my new piece for Halfway to Halloween. I am really close on her. She's almost done except for a little bit of the skirt. I need to get in a couple of stitches down here. The pumpkins are done. I got to do the vines and the spider webs, and then I'm going to roll up and work my way up. I don't have the moon done yet, but I wanted to get it on a scroll bar. I have my Emerald Mermaid. My goal is to get that on a scroll bar too, but I'm going to have to put that on sideways. So I'll have to stitch it like this in the scroll bar because none of the scroll bars I have are wide enough for it. I was going to put it on, and then it took longer than I thought to get this on. So I had to put in a few of the beads, and I don't have any of the invisible threads. So what I do when I'm doing beads is I find a matching floss color. So I went and got 666 for this because this is the Christmas red beads. And so I used the red floss so that it'll help, it enhances the color of the beads and stuff. So I now have to put this in my box of stitchy things so the cat can't get to the needles because I can't put this in a project bag. So that is my Halloween Fairy. I'm not unrolling it. I'm probably going to work on this later tonight, so I want to leave it on the scroll bar and tight and ready to work on. So I think she is going to be lovely. Sarah from Threads and Tails did a complete color conversion of that in like blues and purples. It's beautiful. It's amazing. I didn't even think to change the colors. I mean, I frequently don't because I like the design. That's why I get it, right? All right, so that's all my whips. I have some Stitchy Kindness, some haul, some plans. Some of my plans I've already mentioned. I'll probably review them. I'm going to kind of mix plans and haul together because they kind of go together. All right, so Matt from Starflight Creations, who is a new Flosstuber, he had heard... he thought I was going to a retreat he was going to be at, and so he said something about making me a padfolio. And I said, well, I'm not going to be there, but that's nice of you to offer, and he still made me one. So he sent me this. It was so kind of him. Please go swing by his Flosstube and check him out. He only has he has very few followers. He's new. You should give him a chance. So then on the inside we have this fabric, and I love that he included an actual pencil pouch. What a great way to store some of your knickknacks while you're stitching. I haven't figured out what I'm going to use it for. I think I'm hoping to go to the Harry Potter, the Frogwarts Year 8 in person, and this would be the perfect thing to take. So with all of the houses and everything on it. And the binding around the edge is the Marauders map. So that was my Stitchy Kindness. It's so nice of him to do that for me. All right, let's see. What else do we got? Oh, yes. So because I'm starting Museum After Midnight, I thought about dyeing, and I was like, I can't think of what I really would want to dye, and I thought about doing like a light black to give it kind of a gray, and I was like, I'm afraid I'll screw it up, and I don't have a ton of extra fabric. So I just gave in and bought some off 123 Stitch, and it said it needed to be a subtle fabric and not too dark so that everything would pop. So I went to 123 Stitch and I got a 1/4 yard of 32 count feldspar Belfast linen by Picture This Plus. Look at this. It makes me think of like rocks. Isn't that lovely? It's so pretty. And I showed it to Wendy on the Zoom. She's like, okay, I have to go get some. I was like, go for it. But it is beautiful. And it's got some character, but I still think most people would qualify it as a neutral. It's a subtle. But isn't that gorgeous? Now I have to do some measuring to see if I can cut off some to use for other projects. But I will worry about that later. I'm hoping that this frame is some sort of easy to start in a corner or in the middle somewhere. All right. And other happy mail that I got was my Just Cross Stitch magazine. It is the spring edition. Spring is always the one that has the least things I would like to stitch in it. I am not, in general, I'm not that I'm not a spring person, just the spring stuff doesn't appeal to me as much. So this is kind of cool. This is a quilting thing. So there's only one pattern for this in the middle because it's all the same shape, and then you just change the colors and then the bands. And so that's kind of cool. Not my style, but I still think it's a neat idea. That's not even one of the things I marked, but I thought it was cool. These are funny. I don't know if I would ever stitch them, but they're like on perforated paper, and you like paper dolls, and then these are the other sets. The hedgehog in the raincoat is freaking adorable. And the bear with that's really cute too. Those are silly, but kind of fun. And there's like a nice strawberry thing in here, but I'm looking for my favorites. This is called Moonlit Marsh. Who is it by? Stitchy Princess, or Katarina Voskoboin. I can't pronounce the last name. It's Russian. But which I thought this one was really pretty. It's a little primitive for my sake, but I love this owl. I'm not generally a prim kind of Quakery stitcher person. Although if one appeals to me, I would totally do it. There is this Biscornu, and you know how I am about nautical theme stuff. So I had a thought. I really need some weights for when I'm cutting out fabric. So my thought was, couldn't I just take some Biscornus and put in a heavier material like they use in those framers weights, and have like pretty weights for my fabric? If you've ever done something like that or made weights, would you let me know, like, what do I need to put inside of them to make them heavy enough? So that was my idea that came up when I was thinking about it, because I'm also going to follow, who is it that has it's not Lindy Stitches, it's one of the other people that make fabric, make project bags. They went and got acrylic cut out to the sizes of the fabrics the size of fabric that they use a lot. So they can just lay it on top and go zip, 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 zip. Because getting the fabric to lay still and straight so that I can line everything up and not scooch on me, I have a hard time with that. So I thought it would be cool if I could get that. And actually I looked in Menards and some of those home improvement places do it for fairly cheap. Like you can get a cut. So I was thinking like the size of fabric that I use for project bags, I could get that regularly because that would speed that up. And I like this lighthouse. It's probably because it's a little bit darker and looks like a storm, and I love a good thunderstorm. And of course, another nautical thing. Look at the seahorse, he's so cute. There's another one I really want to do that has beads and stuff. All right. And I know this was probably intentional, but here's this mermaid ensign. I swear, I know she's probably supposed to be doing a loop in the water, but it looks like she's breaking her back. That looks so uncomfortable. And I mean, I know she's probably supposed to be like, doing a flip over in the water. But to me, it just looks like her back's breaking. And it looks very uncomfortable. These little guys are really cute. I see nautical again. And this one, I don't think I would ever stitch it, but it did make me laugh. Relax mode with the frog on the log in a bathing suit with sunglasses. And then, of course, they had to include one little Halloween one, which is very cute. But again, a little too prim for my, but I had, you know, in Halloween, I always have to remember where the Halloween stuff is. So those are the things I really liked out of there. All right, what else? Oh, yes. So we went thrifting after we went out to dinner on Friday. We found a shining puzzle that is a map of the floor plan of the Overlook Hotel. First time in the world my husband's ever said, I want to do this puzzle. So we got that. I got a big bag of pencils for my classroom, and I got some cards from the Smithsonian about climate change to use in my classroom. And then my husband has been looking for this for a while, and we are not the ones to have the hokey things very much. So he's been looking for a Live, Laugh, Love frame. But we're not going to get the standard stuff in it. So I got this a while back. I think I showed it to you. But my husband is a huge fan of Skeletor. The old He-Man, specifically Skeletor. And he was wanting, there's the memes with Skeletor doing the Live, Laugh, Love, but they usually have him and Evelyn. So I had got this because I knew my husband wanted to do this. So what I'm going to do at some point, I got to figure out the sizing. So this is from Fuchsia Hoops off Etsy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the live, the word off, and I'm going to resize it so that they'll fit in those frames. And I'm still trying to figure out if we're going to leave the mats in or take them out or how we're going to do that. Or get a different mat so that, and then, you know, do each of these. And we love the He-Man hugging Skeletor bit. I mean, in the cartoon, he was squeezing him to hold him still. But, so we're going to do Live, Laugh, Love in the frames instead of the traditional happier kind of more, I don't know what you call it. So, yeah. He's been wanting to do it. He's been wanting to print out pictures of the meme. And I was like, wait, because I got this specifically because he had said he wanted to Live, Laugh, Love with Skeletor. So I showed it to him last night. I can't remember. I think I showed it to him when I bought it, but I don't know if he was really paying attention or if I just didn't, and I was going to do it as a surprise for him later. I can't remember. It was a while back. But yeah, so I'm going to stitch these and we're going to put them in that frame and then hang it up. So that is haul/plans. I have one more plan to remind you of. So if you have not already decided to join and you are looking for something patriotic to do for our 250th birthday of our country, please consider joining me in doing Silver Creek Sampler's Banner of Benevolence. I'm going to call it the Benevolence Sal. I am starting this on July 1st. Sarah of Threads and Tails asked if she could start it sooner because she really wanted to get started. And I'm like, sure, do you? So if you don't want to wait until the 250th to start it, but I am planning on starting this on July 4th. I have all the fabric. I put it in the bag that Cindy gave me for my round robin for Stitching Connection 2025. And if you're wondering why Jason X hasn't done 2026, it's because he's still working on the two from his. Because, yeah, a lot of us are still working. A few groups have finished, but most of us are still working. So this is going to be my Benevolence Sal, hashtag Benevolence Sal. And this is really, if you would join me, I would love it. Please, please tag me in your things if you do join in. If you are working on my Rebel Loon, please tag me. I'm mostly off of Instagram right now, but I do check messages and things because I don't want to be rude. But I'm trying to reduce the amount of advertising dollars I'm giving big corporations this month. That's about all I got for you. I plan to be back in 2 weeks. I should be done with school or with my classes by that point, and the school year will almost be over. And then I will have more stitchy time. I am going to do my portfolio during the day over the summer, like treat it like a few hours every day at least. And then try to get some of that done before school's out. Excuse me. And yeah, I hope you are all well. I hope you've had a good week. If you made it this far, let's see. What should I have you? A kitty cat emoji since my cat visited today. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in comments below. Message me on Instagram. Email me at harpystitch@gmail.com. If you are new, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you are returning, thank you so much. I am at 290 subscribers. I'm so close to 300. I get to 90 and then it goes back to 289. Get up to 290, go back to 289. So please join in. Feel free to ask me any questions. If you have any tips for finding a banner thing for the turtles, shorter beading needles, anything like that would be great. And I hope you have a great 2 weeks. And so long, and thanks for all the stitch. Bye.